What's going on, everybody? It's Obstacles to Opportunity. As you guys already know, like, share, subscribe, support the channel. Shout outs to the family. JM, hi, bro. How do you convert obstacles into opportunity? Exactly. Actually, since we're talking about money, more problems, psych, we're going to actually be going over that and how you convert obstacles to opportunity. But JM, I will say it's all about perspective, man. A lot of things that I try to look at, a lot of people would see as obstacles. I think I see 2020 vision. I was raised a similar background as most people, but I've trained my mind and converted my mind to see obstacles as opportunities. So, as much as you could see the glass half full or half empty, it's kind of like a perspective in that way. And so, when I approach the actual obstacles, I see them to opportunities. So, if there's an issue in your way, then it's no different. Let me phrase it like this. David Goggins says it very well, where a lot of people would say that the struggles they've been in, the terrible background that they were raised in, and everything was an obstacle, right? People would say, I didn't have my mom and my dad, it's an obstacle. I was raised in a certain particular community that didn't have money, it's an obstacle. I was, my family lived check to check and was an obstacle. Where more so, I see it as an opportunity. What ends up happening is that people who did not live that life have zero to no comparison. They can't understand what you've went through. And from what I view and mentally approach my situation is, yes, I had that, but I knew what it was like to live to check to check. I knew I didn't want it for myself. So I took it as an opportunity. I had an early lesson in finances. I had an early lesson in what happens when somebody is not financially literate. I had an early lesson, not just from somebody saying it, because sometimes somebody says something to you, JM, and it doesn't make you change your life. It doesn't hit you, but it hit me not having massive amounts of or any food in the fridge and having to eat over my friend's house. I knew what financial literacy could do for you, right? I knew what it was like to have kids when you were not ready. So I ensured that I strapped up and I didn't have them when I wasn't ready. That's what I knew. So it was the experience I had. I experienced it. I understood it. I knew where I did not want to live, where there was abnormal, behaviors and crimes going on. I knew that. I wanted to have a household that was structured into my best ability. So I knew I had to forge my own way. So it was the perspective. I knew what it was like not to have food in the fridge. I knew what it was like to go hungry at night. So these were things that I strived for, and then I had the early lesson in that. So when I got older, I ensured that I did not have the same type of lifestyle as a grown adult. This time I'm in control. I'm not an innocent bystander. I'm not no little kid. I'm a grown individual. So when I had that choice to go to college like the rest of my friends that were graduating, I knew my mom did not have the money. So what am I going to do? I knew I did not want debt neither. So what did I do? Join the military. That was the sole reason. Let's go salute to the ones getting it done. Exactly. Thank you, IBE. And of course, also too, I knew I didn't grow up with a lot of male role models. I didn't have a father, so I knew that the military had a lot of men in it. It was brotherhoods. So I knew that I could go there to get that brotherhood, that manly treating, teaching you how to be a man, teaching me how to be responsible. So I knew that I didn't have it, so I seeked it. And my life experiences, the obstacles, was the thing that gave me the opportunity. It was an opportunity to learn a lesson. It was an opportunity to make a change. JM, so is it okay to fail sometimes when you're going through those obstacles? Of course, of course. I had massive amounts of failures in a lot of my ventures. I started a business. I attempted to start a business, and I did. When we're talking about in Brazil, Salvador, I was going to get promoted, but I decided to go off on my own. I wanted to have other ways to make money. Not saying I was like, oh, F 9 to 5 and F a job. No, it was more so I at least wanted the ability to make money on my own. I started that. It didn't work out. I went through, just the hassle of that when I was in Brazil. I had something that I wanted to start up in America. That was the issue when I wanted to, do a joint venture on a real estate project. Then I had another venture in Africa, Kenya, and took a L on that, starting up some fashion line and things of this nature. So all those L's, those losses, I turned them into lessons. And if you read anything about the 48 laws of power, if you read anything about the art of war, it's all a part of the process. It's only a mistake if you don't learn from it. And most people who are successful make tons of mistakes. So those obstacles, that's why we call them opportunities, because in those obstacles, they can be true barriers for some people, or depending on you and your mindset and your drive, they can be opportunities, because those obstacles become the opportunities that you have learned your lessons from. Uh, Thanks for those fire questions coming straight out the gate, JM. So I'm going to hop right into a couple of the videos that I would like to review, and I hope you guys enjoy it with me. And let's hop into the first one right here. Let me see. Give me 2 seconds. All right, so hold on, just give me a second. It's like when you play it in the back, it's all of a sudden playing the video. Like, come on, get out of here. All right, so let's start off with something that how to, let me see. Okay, here we go. Let's go. And this is going to talk about a little bit about the obstacles that we were just talking about. So let me know if you guys can see it. Oh, hold on. Make sure you guys can hear it though. So stop sharing. I want you guys to be able to hear this. Yeah, I need to hear every bar. You're like, I hope you guys had a good Saturday so far. I hope you enjoyed yourself. All right, here we go. Make sure, and let me know if you guys can hear the audio. Here we go.
Man, most people have no idea how to make money. So I had a guy come to me and he started dating some semi-famous girl with a big Instagram account. And he comes to me and says, bro, she's big in Serbia. I want to launch a makeup brand. I was like, how much you need? He goes, I need $250,000. And I said, listen, what's your plan? You get $250,000 and do what? He goes, well, I'm going to build the website. Then I'm going to buy all the stock and I'm going to.
So he's talking about somebody who's just partnering, but specifically he has a woman of interest in their partner. She wants to start a business. So he's coming to him and asking him for investments. He's asking him for money. So those of you guys who are going to get into real estate, those of you guys who are going to start out a business, you might go to investors to get your capital outside of financial institutions, banks, etc., or grants. So he's going to Andrew Tate saying, look, bro, I need some money. And this is what Andrew Tate has to say about it. So listen.
I'm going to base it in Serbia in a warehouse so I can sell it out fast, same day delivery. So, okay, fine. Let's do something else instead. I'll give you $2,000. Make the website, take the pictures, get the product designs, put it online.
So he's saying, all right, cool. I'll give you the money to do these things. So it's just basically marketing, putting up online. This guy was talking about getting a warehouse, buying the stock, filling up the whole, warehouse with everything first. That's what he needed the money to do. He needed the money to buy all the items in bulk, send it all the way to a warehouse, and then he was going to launch his marketing at the same time, whatever the case is. But he wants to do everything from the beginning, so he needs to fund the money. And this is what Andrew Tate's saying. He's not going to quite do that, but this is what he will help.
Launch it, put it all over her Instagram, launch it, start selling, take in all the money, buy the stock with the money that comes in, with the new money. So you're never in debt to anybody. You're not in debt to me either. Buy the stock, fulfill, start your company from nothing, and be rich. Man,
So there you go. But let him go over it one more time.
People have no idea how to make money. So I had a guy come to me and he started dating some semi-famous girl with a big Instagram account. And he comes to me and says, bro, she's big in Serbia. I want to launch a makeup brand. I was like, how much you need? He goes, I need $250,000. And I said, listen, what's your plan? You get $250,000 and do what? He goes, well, I'm going to build the website. Then I'm going to buy all the stock and I'm going to base it in Serbia in a warehouse so I can sell it out fast, same day delivery. So, okay, fine. Let's do something else instead. I'll give you $2,000. Make the website, take the pictures, get the product designs, put it online, launch it, put it all over her Instagram, launch it, start selling, take in all the money, buy the stock with the money that comes in, with the new money. So you're never in debt to anybody. You're not in debt to me either. Buy the stock, fulfill, start your company from nothing, and be rich.
Oh, excuse me. There he goes right there. That's a way to go about it, right? And Top G, of course, Top G's got it. Yeah, I remember this strategy. Get pre-orders, right? The Black James Bond is we here, we in the building, of course. Salute. Of course, yeah, right. This is a strategy, getting pre-orders, right? Don't shift it on to investors. Don't shift it on other people. The responsibilities have a what we call proof of concept, which is you have the pre-orders and you have the orders fulfilled. And yes, there might be some issues on delivery time, but to try to go out and get other people's money first, and especially without no proof of concept, is could be a little bit more difficult, but nevertheless, also you would want to do it as an individual borrower, right? If you're going around here treating people's money as valuable and important, you want to make sure that there's a proof of concept that you can actually sell what you think you could sell prior to asking other people for money, right? Or we're not trying to run a FTX out here, allegedly. All right, so here we go.
Average of the 5 people that you surround yourself
Yeah.
by. And I think that's extremely true. So if you can continue to grow your network and always strive to be around smarter and smarter people, I think that's going to bring you up and you're going to see the world in a much different way. And it's going to increase the probabilities that you achieve what you want to achieve in life.
Right. And, you know, what I was talking about is who are your teachers? And then what I found overall, because, you know, my whole fascination is why are some people rich and why are some people poor? But in 2022, the gap between rich and poor is now accelerating. It's getting wider than the Grand Canyon. But a lot of the times, the people that are getting poor is simply because they had poor teachers.
Now, I wouldn't agree more so with the last statement, but let's start where I do agree. Once again, you guys have the opportunity to reach out to individuals that are beyond your station. You have the opportunity, just as women might have the opportunity to reach out to Chris Brown, to reach out to celebrities or whatever the case may be. You have the same opportunities to reach out with wealth managers. You have the same opportunity to reach out with investment bankers. You still have the opportunity to reach out to real estate firms of wealthy individuals who have a good mindset, or real estate investors through Bigger Pockets. You can really reach out to these people and have a mentor and have people around you in a circle that actually increase your ability to make money or be financially literate and learn about whatever investment vehicle in particular you want to learn about. So this is the type of, or YouTube, you can go to the right channels that talk about financing all day and you could learn. This is YouTube University. It's not entertainment. It's not edutainment. It's just education. YouTube is the biggest how-to platform. So as much as entertainment is not the number one lead video or reason people watch YouTube. It's not the number one reason. So if you think it is, it's just the way you use YouTube. But YouTube is mostly for how to. That is the number one videos that are utilized and watched on YouTube is how to. So once again, it's not only about the people you hang out, it's about the information that you process. What kind of information are you guys processing? JM says, isn't that what banks do with our money that we put in savings account? Yes, they kind of rent back or loan or credit money back out. That's the name of the game. And, you could become a banker in a way too by note investing. That's note investing, NOTE investing, note investing, which you can get a book about. You can look up on YouTube. But yes, that's what banks basically do. JM says, same 24 hours they have, same 24 hours I have. There are no excuses. Exactly, right? There's no excuses. Everybody has the same 24 hours. It's just a lack of information and a lack of an action plan. So that's what it's all about, is going out there and just making it happen and getting it done, right? And then the banks lend out your money for loans, make money on the interest. Exactly, type G. That's exactly what they do. And it's a great thing that they do. I don't see it as a bad service. I see it as great. I see it as, what else are they supposed to do? Just hand out money for free? That's what some people would say with a different mindset, that they should just give me money. They should just give me a home. They should just do this and they should just do that. And go to Israel and live in Israel as an Israeli. And I believe they don't do interest rates when you're Israeli and you're from the country. So there you go. But as far as what happens over here in American soil and majority of the world, they do charge interest. Europeans have low interest rate, very low in particular. So there's an opportunity if you have an issue with it. But in America, this is how it's done. And I think it's done quite well. in my opinion. I thought banks made money by investing the money we give them. Yes, yeah, but they do, but they invested in the investments we make. So case in point, when I come to the bank and I look for a multifamily home, that's how they invest the money that we put in there. And so they invest in my property or the property I picked out after they're done underwriting and reviewing the property, that I bring them all the numbers, I bring them the address, I bring them everything that they need, and they just collect the data, and then they make an analysis, which is called underwriting. And then during the process of underwriting, then they're going to say approved or not approved. The same thing for when you buy a home, right? They're going to charge you interest rate on your single family home, which is a terrible buy, but whatever. And they're going to look at the same thing. They're going to look at your finances, going to look at your W-2s. They're going to look at all your pay stubs. They're going to look at your financial credit score, and they're going to make a analysis. They're going to make a decision, and they're going to review and say loan approved or denied. So they all do. Rarely do they do the business, and that's why I told people, don't come at it from a business perspective. Come at it from a different perspective, right? Come at it from a real estate perspective. So let's go here. This was a good one.
The New York Times published 3 pages of your 1995 tax returns. They show you claimed a $916 million loss, which means you could have avoided paying personal federal income taxes for years. Did you use that $916 million loss to avoid paying personal federal income taxes for years?
Of course I do. Of course I do. And so do all of her donors, or most of her donors. I know many of her donors. A lot of my write-off was depreciation and other things that Hillary, as a senator, allowed. And she'll always allow it, because the people that give her all this money, they want it. See, I understand the tax code better than anybody that's ever run for president. Hillary Clinton has friends that want all of these provisions, including they want the carried interest provision, which is very important to Wall Street people. Number one, I pay tremendous numbers of taxes. I absolutely used it, and so did Warren Buffett, and so did George Soros, and so did many of the other people that Hillary is getting money from. Now, I won't mention their names because they're rich, but they're not famous, so we won't make them famous.
Wow.
So as you can see, there goes another example of what we're talking about, right? The depreciation that's available to real estate investors for making investments. Of course, on that type of stage, all these people's mentality is twisted, that are the audience that are watching it, where they think, oh, you're not paying your fair share of taxes. And that's not true. It's not about not paying your fair share of taxes. It's about doing what the IRS says per the tax laws to have the appropriate tax deductions. It's not paying your taxes. It's like you didn't pay your tickets or you didn't pay your fines. No, I followed by the law, and I did not speed, so I don't pay tickets. I did not park in a place that I'm not supposed to park. I didn't park in a handicapped space, so I don't have to pay the handicap fee. I don't have to pay these fees. I didn't park in the wrong place, so I don't have to pay the parking fee. I don't have to pay the traffic violation. And so what I'm saying is showing you that, or trying to attempt to show you that if I'm not paying taxes, I'm filing taxes, I'm going through the process, but I use the proper laws that are written to enhance and stimulate the market that the IRS is going to give me deductions for. And I'm going to get an amazing person named Tom Wheelwright, somebody you need to put in your circle to understand and have a different perspective on taxes. Most people's problem is they learn how to get money and not what to do with the money when they get it, and also how to defend money. So they just worry about getting a better job and getting higher income, but they don't worry about how to reduce their taxes. How do they have tax deductions? What things they can invest in to get tax deductions? So they don't even think about investing. And then they definitely don't think about how can those investments reduce my tax obligations. And this is a full, well-rounded thought that you guys need to have an approach, because this is what's going to be able to determine whether you are able to save almost a quarter of your actual money. So let's go to the next part. And this is the guy, Tom Wheelwright, that you guys need to listen to. Let's jump right into it. Tom Wheelwright, as you can see his name.
The more income you make, the more tax you pay. The more wealth you build, the less tax you pay. How does that work? Most people, you earn income, and the more you earn, the higher the tax. You earn it, you spend it, you save it, you pay tax on it. However, what if instead of spending it, what if instead of saving it, what if you put it back into your business? No tax there because you get to deduct it. What if instead you put it into one of the 7 investments, especially real estate, business, technology, agriculture, or energy? Now you're building wealth and you're paying no tax. The more income you make, the more tax you pay. The more wealth you build, the less tax you pay. How does that work? Most people, you earn income, and the more you earn, the higher the tax. You earn it, you spend it, you save it, you pay tax on it. However, what if instead of spending it, what if instead of saving it, what if you put it back into your business? No tax there because you get to deduct it. What if instead you put it into one of the 7 investments, especially real estate, business, technology, agriculture, or energy? Now you're building wealth and you're paying no tax.
As you guys can see, once again, I had to let you guys hear that twice. And the more income you make, the more tax you pay. But the more wealth you build, the less taxes you pay, specifically in real estate, businesses, oil and gas, energy, technology. And so the more you invest in these sectors, then the less tax obligation you have. So this is why you guys need to go check out Tom Wheelwright. I also put it in the description so you guys can review it. It says, Todd says, peace, bro. One of my faves. You see you back. It's good to see you back again. And they have some chat. And they make it by fractionally lending it. Yeah, and they make money on the interest. But yeah, they do fractional reserves. That is a process of how they like bookkeep the numbers that they have, but they make the money on the interest. But fractional reserving is a part of the process that allows them to leverage, no different than you're allowed to leverage. You know, you're allowed to buy a $700,000 house with only a mere 3% down. You know, that's like fractional lending, right? Fractional reserves is the opposite because the bank has to put things on reserves. And so it works in a different way because they're credited money out. So they do fractional reserving, and then you do fractional lending when you actually have a fraction of the actual payment, and then it lends you the rest. So that's how you stimulate growth and everything in your future income generated, or your future capital gains, or your future passive income can be utilized in a calculation for your debt to income ratio. Or we got JM. What do you think about credit unions, bro? My non-bank is a credit union. Of course, credit unions are good. I like the way that they're structured versus like commercial banks like Bank of America. They're structured in a more, let's say, down to earth, more people's. I would say just they're structured in a particular way that is more beneficial and more safe. Not necessarily just by the nature of it, but it could lean towards its ability not to have major issues and, you know, major scandals as they do in commercial banks, or commercial banks tend to have. It's a different culture, and it is very good. And then Maine, of course, got you. So yes, your main bank is a credit union, and that's a good one. And one of my main banks, the main bank, my longest bank that I ever had, is also a credit union. So I do utilize them more. Okay, let's see. All right, so let's get the next one up in here.
For me, I wanted to be financially free, because as long as I was dependent upon somebody else, whether it's a job and a boss, or Robert, my husband, or my family, for my financial life, I would never be fully free. There's 2 things people can invest in. One is capital gains and one is cash flow. So capital gains is you buy a stock for $20, it goes to $30, you sell it, your profit is called capital gains. Cash flow, on the other hand, let's say I buy a stock that pays a dividend every quarter. So that dividend, I buy the stock, that money stays there, and I get a dividend every quarter. That is cash flow to me.
See, so that's what it's all about. That was Robert's wife right there, ex-wife. And as she said, she wanted to be financially free, which is no problem with that. Separate from her husband, separated from everything else that she was insulated in. And that's completely fine. I think people should aspire to financial freedom and then decide to do whatever they want with their lives. So this is why I promote this on this channel so much. So as she said, she talked about capital gains, as if you buy a stock for $20 and appreciates to $20, $30, and then you sell it, and then the $10 is the capital gains. And then you have also cash flow. And so if you purchase the same stock at $20, then the time comes when dividends are paid out and you get dividends, whatever that number is, and that is cash flow. And so those are two forms of growth that you get versus, let's say, earned income, right? And so this is the good thing about it. And depending on what you invested on, real estate, as an example, capital gains can be something that's tax deductible, and the cash flow can also be something that's tax deductible. So these are the reasons why people or these channels speak about investing in these type of investments, because that's the way to go, right? And we're going to go back and we're going to end out on this. So, or not end out on this, but we're going to talk about the tax again, so you guys can really get that and understand that. I'm serious. This guy, it's necessary.
And nothing we do is illegal, is it, Kenny?
No, gosh, no. The IRS basically tells you where to put your money. The tax code is a Bible that says this is what you can and can't do. And so as long as you just follow the pages that say this is what you can do, and one of the things they want is housing. One of the things they want is oil, and food. So they give subsidies and tax breaks to people who produce those things, period. That's the way the world is.
And nothing we do is illegal, is it, Kenny?
No, gosh, no.
So there you go. Nothing they do is illegal. All those, narratives that people pin up and people say, oh my gosh, this is illegal. This doesn't make any sense. It's not illegal. Anything that they do is not illegal. You understand? The tax code is a Bible, and in that Bible, it is telling you what to do in order to receive those tax deductions. That's it. It's not no crazy conspiracy. It's not this. It's not all of that. Not that everybody else is going to make it out to be to you guys. So remember that when you guys are making these investments and you guys are utilizing, all these different type of channels for information. And just remember, when you're approaching your own career, especially when you're talking about your investments, keep that in mind. Let's go to the next one. And I want you guys to also know that the StreamYard link is in there if you wanted to come in and ask anything, or just ask them at the bottom, whatever you're more comfortable with, which would be completely fine. But yes, the tax incentives are there for you to utilize. It is not you doing anything bad like Hillary or somebody else is going to make it out to be.
And the reason I recommend gold, silver, Bitcoin is because this is a US dollar. The counterparty risk is the Fed, the Treasury, and Wall Street. I trust Bitcoin more than I trust Biden.
I trust this pen more than I trust government.
No, that's what I'm saying. So do I like Bitcoin? Yeah, because I bought it at 6,000. Would I buy it today? Maybe not. And the reason I recommend gold, silver, Bitcoin is because.
So I wanted you guys to hear that because, like Rob said, hit that like button. I'm going to say this, man, and I'm going to say this, and I want you guys to hear this. I heard this running a lot on, excuse me, hold on. I heard this running a lot on, give me a second. Let's just get this right real quick, sunshine. Disco, turn on. Oh, snaps. We going wild. We going crazy. So I hear this a lot, and I want you guys to kind of be able to listen up, all right? And listen clear, because I hear this a lot. And it goes on amongst a bunch of people who say this garbage and nonsense. And I think it needs to be like deaded very quickly because it's very corrosive. And people say it as if like it's legit, and it's not. So first of all, listen. you know, they have this talk online where it's like, oh, I trust Bitcoin more than I trust the government. First of all, FTX, I hope that really showed him his lesson and showed everybody else their lesson. You don't know these individuals that are online, that are doing all these different things with all this technology. And for some reason, most people will elect to trust and believe in them as if just the people are the people and they're always good because they're the people and they're not the government or something of this nature. And that's crazy. And that doesn't make any sense. And that's just this type of mentality that you could see online, right? Like distrust the government just because they're the government. I trust this pen more than I trust the government. Do you trust the pen to guard the borders? Do you trust the pen to do a lot of different things that the government does do? To teach your kids? You want the pen to teach you kids? Like, you do this stuff every day, and this is the nonsense that I'm talking about. You're talking about you trust some online anonymous owner of particular coins and a process in which you completely don't understand over the government and Biden. It's not about Biden. You see, these are political pundits, and I used to, no disrespect, but Robert Kiyosaki made great books and Rich Dad Poor Dad, but he's old and all he talks about is politics, and all this other doomsday stuff. He's old. He can do that because he doesn't, you know, he's already made his wealth and he's just going to speak all that garbage. But I want you guys to focus on the economics. I don't want you focusing on the garbage that he's spewing about his mouth, about the government, about politics, about left or right. All that is garbage and nonsense, bro, to get you caught up. You can still have a left or right. I don't even care, but you still need money, not either way. So what I'm saying is that as much as people say, I distrust the government, I guess they chose to wait, hold on. This is who they decided to trust in. They didn't trust the government. I got you. They didn't trust the government, right? They trusted the pen, right? They trusted the pen and they didn't trust the government. But let me show you who they did trust. Hold on. Because now I'm putting them on blast because now they're all quiet, right? This is who they decided to trust. This is who they trusted. They didn't trust the government. They trusted the pen and they trusted this guy. This is one of the guys they trusted. At least he has a name, right? Because at least you can know this guy. This is who they decided to trust. They're not telling you that part now. They're shutting up now. They quiet now, right? This is who they decided to trust. Let's keep it real. That's who they decided to trust. They didn't trust Biden. They didn't trust none of that. They wanted to trust that guy in particular, allegedly. So this is what I'm saying. They're going to tell you all these tropes about don't trust the government, don't trust this, don't trust that, don't do that. Half of these guys are running around sponsors, and half of these guys are just running around because they're getting paid. Listen, all right? I'm not saying the government's perfect. I'm not saying they're the best, but the USD has proven itself during the last year plus to be one of the strongest forms of currency in the world. As I remember, I told you guys, as much as people say it's not on the gold standard, the US dollar is on the global standard. You understand? The global standard. USD is on the global standard as of now. But you know, of course, other countries are talking about not gold. So the USD is on the global standard, not gold. So it is used as a global form of currency to trade in commerce. That is way more powerful than me having some gold nuggets in the back of a vault somewhere. Other countries that have gold, other countries that have zinc, copper, vibranium, titanium, platinum in their own soil are not more valuable than the USD because the USD has global power, a global standard. We have military power. We mean what we mean to the economics routes and the systems and the routes that are all across the water. We can shut off, we can apply sanctions. Our USD is very strong. The Japanese yen, down. The Turkish lira, down. The Thai baht, down. The USD, up against all these forms of currency. Even the euro and even the pound. But the pound, they did some little fake stuff to get themselves back up. But we see y'all. So this is what they're saying. Don't trust them, trust that guy. Cut it out. JM, when Europeans travel, they exchange euros to US dollars before they travel, and they never travel with euros. That should tell you something, exactly. But these guys are trying to tell you that don't trust it, don't trust the government. I trust this pen. It's easy to just laugh on the government. It's easy to join in the crowd and point the fingers and wag the fingers and talk about all this conspiracy stuff and talk about don't trust the government. I bet you if these guys woke up tomorrow and these guys saw that all their money was missing out their bank, the first person they'll run to is the government. If they had all their money stole out of their coins and their wallets, they would run to the government. They're not going to run to the crypto enforcers. They're not going to run to the Bitcoin enforcers. They're not going to do any of that. They're going to run to the government. They're going to run to the government and cry and what everybody else is doing with the FTX and cry about lack of legislation, lack of regulation, and oh, that's what you did. That's what you didn't want, right? Don't run to the government. I'm not like, what, bro? Look, it depends on how you went into it. But if you ran up in there talking trash about the government, if you ran up in the FTX, running to try to do all that, right? Run up in there talking about F the government. I don't want no regulation. I want to be beyond regulations in the United States. Okay, cool. Now your money got janked. Don't come to us. Don't come to us. That's what happened. You want to be unregulated. You want to be over there. Don't ask the government to now use their resources, manpowers, and investigation abilities and techniques to come research and figure out. No, you lost your money. You wanted to be unregulated because you thought that was the new thing. Orange was the new black. And so you got what you got. So go ahead and buck up, right? What's up with that unregulated enforcement agency? What about that unregulated authority agency that's going to go ahead and get your money back and salvage some of your losses from your investments? Right? So watch out for tropes like that. Watch out for talks like that, man, because that stuff is really not good and beneficial for you. All right? Not at all. What I'm going to do is I would like to take a break. I want to take these two separate streams. So I want to have the money, more problems as a separate stream from the international males thing. So I'm going to do that a little bit later. I'm just going to take a break. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to convert to you guys, what I'm hoping you guys understand, and what these people are going to be out here trying to, push on you and try to paddle to you and tell you, hey guys, watch out for the federal, watch out for the government. I trust the pen more. Like Cap, guy's still a great guy. I know I watched some of his content, but still, that was really corny. So I want you guys to like, share, subscribe, support the channel. Thanks for coming in. I will be back in like 20 minutes or so I can do the international man's thing, but I just want to keep it separate from the money reaction that I made just now. So shout outs, please come to that one, International Man's Day. So just a celebration, I'm going to cap it off with some of the important role models of my life and who I really look up to. And it's about, I'm going to do two more relevant to everybody. I was going to go back and do somebody, but you'll be like, who that? So I'm just going to keep it as two. And it's going to be a quick one, about 30 minutes. You guys can come in there and say whoever means a lot to you, whether that be your fathers, whether it be your uncles, whatever. So we're going to have that. And I know it won't be as many people to support that, but nevertheless, I still want to do that and have that because that's what we need to do. No different than women on their International Women's Day. You got to see that joints all over Google and everywhere. So shout outs to everybody. Much respects. And as I say, we got. I hope you guys enjoy the show. People who watch the playback, please watch it. Please review it. If you have any discussions, do you think these guys were right? Do you not trust the government? Whatever it may be. Do you not believe that the tax code should be like that? Put it in the comments. I'll be engaged with you guys and we'll have a talk about it. And until the next one, man, I hope you appreciate it. Once again, we got.